My name's Jack Perks. I live in Nottingham and I'm a professional wildlife photographer and cameraman. I went down to Cornwall in Falmouth to do marine and natural history photography degree. So really specified on wildlife and water, so that's why I kind of gone into the line of work that I do. So I used to travel up to the Foy a little bit, mainly for salmon. Funnily enough, the Foy is quite, when the salmon are there's lots of fish, but other than that, it's quite a dead river. There's the odd minnow, but there's not a lot in it. And I think that's just because it's so clear running and fast that not a lot of other species have found their way into the river. So in the autumn it's full of life, which is funny because you're associating the autumn with most things going downhill. But then it goes dead again. So autumn was the time to be there, and we've got all the leaves turning, so it's just a really autumnal river. The less water we have in the river, the less opportunities you're giving the wildlife that live on the river. So certainly things that depend on it heavily, like fish and water invertebrates, they're going to struggle with lower water levels. Plant life's going to struggle. So yeah, the rivers that are being lots of water taken away, it is a huge problem, and it's something we need to address.
So it's a matter of water level, but also I think water quality as well.
Yes, well yeah, of course. I mean, people think that our rivers have improved a lot, and they've improved somewhat, but UK rivers are still quite bad really. There's quite a lot of chemicals, pollution. I mean, we're near a road today, when that rains, all the rubbish off the roads going in the river, all the chemicals and things like that. So I forget the exact percentage, but it's something ridiculous. Like the vast majority of rivers in England anyway are really below average. They're really bad in terms of pollution and whatnot. So it's something that we need to really work out what chemicals are going into our rivers and stop them going in. Because I think you see these rivers with the life that's on them now, just imagine how they would be if there was no chemicals, no rubbish, no toxins in the river. They would absolutely flourish. There are little things that we can do to help the rivers. I mean, you talk about water abstraction, like using up lots of water. It's as simple as just turning the tap off. Maybe not having a bath twice a day, just have a shower or something, and not using as much water, because obviously the more water you're using, the more we're taking away. So it's just being reasonable. I'm not saying people don't bath or shower, but just be within reason how much water you're using every day. The other thing is to be the eyes and ears of canals and rivers and whatnot, and just looking what's happening. So for example, if you see lots of fish dead on the surface, something's not right, so you'd need to let the Environment Agency or whichever relevant organisation know. You know, if it's a funny colour, like, I mean, one day this river was orange because someone further up was digging for the tram line. So just keep an eye on the ecosystem. If something doesn't look right, let someone else know. Don't just think someone else will do it, because they might not do it. And probably the most important thing is just enjoying what we have, just walking along these areas and just breathing it in, because I think a lot of people take rivers for granted, but they are wildlife corridors. They bring wildlife, particularly urban rivers and stuff, they bring it into our city centres, so just enjoy them.
I know that you organise quite often workshops to teach people how to take beautiful photos. What do you think about how is the impact of the beauty of nature on people's well-being?
Well, it's amazing, because I'll take people out who maybe live in the city and they don't see natural subjects and things, and it's interesting because I kind of take it for granted a little bit, because I see it not every day, but I see kingfishers flying by and water voles and all that, and I just kind of get a bit blasé about it. But then when I see someone who hasn't ever seen one before and they just light up inside, they've got this absolute passion, and it's amazing to show people that. So I think it's important that we look after rivers, because you're helping people who might never see anything like that, and if it carries on, they might never actually see anything like that. So it is something to show to a lot of people.